Hey everyone, it's your new GM Amber. For this week's episode, we played Avery Alder's The Quiet Year, which I picked up at Gen Con. Technically, it's a GMless game, but I saw it as a way for me to learn how to world build. I adore this game, and I can't wait to play it again. I hope you enjoy! Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's go,
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Is it time to be quiet and take a nap?
It's the post-rom.
yeah.
It is the quiet year.
Oh,
So we're just
yeah.
going to be quiet for the whole year.
Yes, this podcast, we're just going to take a nap.
for a
You ready
whole
for
year.
it? For a
Yes.
whole year.
Oh my god.
I'm ready. All right. So today we're playing The Quiet Year, and I have 3 players today. And I guess including me.
Yeah,
because
you're fourth. This is
You
four.
are
four.
a player.
I'm a player.
GM,
All right.
It's like a GMless game, right?
Yes. So yeah, we're all standing, which is making this very fun. Since this is a map game about community and struggle.
It's going to be a real good day, guys.
I'm going to struggle.
All right. Well, who are you?
I'm Josh. You can find me on Twitter at EvilDMJosh. I'm also the DM of Evil As Evil Does and the future Tales from Mox Fairy.
I'm Brandon at Brand Seals on Twitter. I am currently sick.
Oh, no.
So sorry for whoever's going to use the mic next.
It's
Probably
Dave.
Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
I'm Kristen. She just gave me the dirtiest look.
That was
dirty
not
Kristin.
dirty. Oh, no.
If only. So I'm Kristen. On Tumblr at Idiot from Indiana. Tumblr's bad.
So the only people who know about this game, I think, are me and Brandon and Josh from experience of listening to it on
Yep.
another podcast. Was it a podcast?
Yeah, it was a podcast. Friends at the Table played it.
Oh, cool. That's kind of interesting. I always wondered how it would go because it's a map making game and
Sounds visual.
it is a very visual
I
game.
have to take a picture.
Good pod.
I already took a picture at the beginning of what the map looked like. Nothing. All right, I'm going to read the opening story. For a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now finally, we've driven them off and we're left with this, a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end, but we don't know about that yet. What we know is that right now, in this moment, there's an opportunity to build something. All right,
okay.
that was it. That's the
Yeah,
end of the
okay.
story. Now you can fart and burp and
No,
shit all
I
you
thought,
want.
I was about to say I love building
Please
things.
don't shit. Please.
So I'm going to start by explaining the tools. This is our map. Before playing, we're going to establish some of the landscape. As we play, we'll update the map to reflect new discoveries, conflicts, and opportunities. Parts of the map will be literal cartography, and other parts will be symbolic. We'll try to avoid writing words on it, though common symbols are fine. These cute dice that Kristen gave me,
Yeah.
these are our project dice. When our community starts a project, we'll place one on the map to note how many weeks it will take to finish. Each week, they tick down by 1. When a die reaches 0, the project is complete. And these, this case full of skulls, are our contempt tokens. They represent any tension and frustration that might arise in the community. So, and then this deck of cards right here are our summary cards. They'll remind us of what to do each week of the quiet year and in what order. So there are 4 suits. Hearts represent spring, diamonds is summer, clubs is autumn, and spades is winter. And then there's the King of Spades, which is the Frost Shepherds, and once that card is drawn, the game's over. For the purpose of this podcast and for time reasons, we actually shortened the play session by taking out 5 cards from each season. Typically, you would try to play through all 52. I mean, of course, the Frost Shepherds would cut it short. So we all have 2 roles to play. The first is to represent the community at a bird's eye level and then to care about its fate. The second is to dispassionately introduce dilemmas as scientists conducting an experiment. So before we begin the game, we're going to establish some facts about the community and what its surroundings are like. Are you guys okay with strange elements?
They come about. Let's see what happens.
I would assume so.
Sure.
I was like, I'm all for strange elements. Okay, cool. So now we're going to take a time to discuss kind of the general terrain and habitat of the area. So what are you guys thinking? Like, what kind of area should we be in? All
like
forests.
forests.
Forests, as in all forests?
I like forests a lot.
I like to have some kind of mountain range on some part of the surrounding.
Okay, cool. All right, forest, mountains, no.
Appalachia.
Oh, okay.
I think we have one river source
Some water source. Okay.
coming from the mountains.
But not on a coast. We're
No.
landlocked. We're going to go around one at a time and introduce detail on our map. So I'll go first. I'll be player 1. I should probably make
She's
this
drawn a
smaller.
line.
I should probably make this smaller.
I don't know how big or small to make it. Nope.
Oh no! I drew a line. Everyone
She
was
drew a
like,
line and then she smeared it. And now there's just water.
It looks
An
like
oval?
a potato.
With squiggles. And a squiggle coming off of it.
Oh, it's an amoeba.
Wow. Or a
No, it's
Parallel
I
squiggles.
drew a medium-sized. I'm going to say medium-sized lake to the east with the river coming down from it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, so how much can we actually draw? Like,
Simple should take you 30 seconds.
oh, okay. Well, okay.
I don't know how to describe this shape.
Oh, what the hell is that?
All right.
Spaghetti
Looks
and
like
meatball
a
disaster.
broken toaster.
Totally. No, so to the south there is pretty much like a quarry, so that's supposed to be going downwards. The path. And there's a yep.
Can you draw some rocks?
Oh, okay. And so there's like a big hole because it's almost like a cave thing as well.
Right.
It's the pit.
It's the pit. Yeah. There you go.
It's like banana bread.
5 boulders.
Well, because most
Okay.
of it's in the cave now.
Well, okay.
Let's see. You drew my river already.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can make a better river.
Oh, it's a thing that goes right through the community.
It's east-west line. And another one.
Holy shit.
What
it's
is
huge.
this? Wait, what?
Oh, no.
Is this? It's gigantic.
Yes, it's a very wide river.
Oh.
Interesting.
Here, can I,
It is not
Oh.
a highway.
Yeah, it's... We don't actually have a forest yet.
He's just taking care of the
oh,
forest.
yeah. I forgot about the forest.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
All right. And the forest to the northwest.
West.
Okay, cool. Next, we declare an important resource for the community, something which we might have in either abundance or scarcity. So we're each going to list a resource. I'm going to say dry firewood.
Sounds good.
I'm going to say fish.
Okay.
Food and
I'm
stuff.
going to say fresh water.
Okay.
Energy.
What kind?
Water.
Now we decide which one is the in abundance.
Well, if we have abundant fresh water, is it weird to not have much fish either?
No, there's
No.
all sorts of environmental issues
Yeah.
that can cause fish. Like there could be like something was removed from the food chain, and there's
Right.
no
That's true.
no
Doesn't
plank-
have to
Or
be
introduced to the
chemical.
food chain.
yeah,
Right.
So it can still be safe water.
or just a bunch of turtles ate all the fish.
That's right.
All right. I can work with that. It'll be good to have
Turtle soup.
So what was the abundance? Are you saying fresh water is the abundance, and then everything else is scarce?
I think that would be a good start.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's the fresh water located? You came up with fresh water. You decide where that fresh water is coming from and on the map and mark it.
Okay.
He's adding extra lines to the river.
Can you use a symbol, please? Like a.
Oh, God. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Boo.
Potions.
Oh, it's so cute. A little flask.
Oh, dang, you made it ellipse. I like it.
I'm going to say that they probably usually came into this smaller pond, and so I'm going to
A little skeleton.
a dead skeleton
He's
fish.
super dead.
Yeah.
All right, and so I had firewood, so I'll do this.
Oh, it's frowning.
Yeah. Uh huh.
It's always raining.
It's raining on
Yeah.
top of this frowning log.
Oh, it's in Vancouver, Seattle. Just rain.
Yep.
How about that hydro energy?
Yeah, how do I explain the absence? How do I draw the
Like
absence
a
of something?
broken light bulb.
Yeah, broken light bulb or broken building or whatever. So that's like a broken wheel.
Yes.
Great, I love it. I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing at how great everything is. Okay,
That makes sense.
all right. I guess this is when we start doing it.
All right.
All right.
All right. It's spring and things are starting to bloom. And around the pond, the small pond to the east, all around in a ring, there are Jacob ladders blooming.
Between all the dead fish.
The dead fish aren't actually.
There.
No, it's good fertilizer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Plants love mercury.
I'm going to start a project. And that's going to be to fix the water hydro wheel. So I think that's probably going to take, a month?
Sure.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Okay, the people that have the highest inclusion in the community are actually the artists. They're sky artists. And so they're actually able to draw into the sky. And, it's kind of a temporary art, but everyone enjoys it. And so what do people have to do to gain inclusion in this group is they have to go off and go off into the forests and commune with nature.
I was going to say Vision Quest.
Yeah, pretty much a vision quest. Oh, I
It's
realized
a Diglett.
it kind of looks like a penis as well. I was like, what am I doing? Okay.
We're not judging.
I mean, that one's just a hairy penis.
With very flat balls.
What happened? That Vision Quest ended badly.
Okay.
All right, great. I drew a great penis.
Can you tell me what it's supposed to be?
It's like it's a vision quest. So out there must be some kind of monument potentially or something else for them to go commune with.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, I'll start a project. It's going to be a tower. It's actually going to be a giant tower in the middle of the community, pretty much so that the artists can get closer to their art. And it's going to be a very tall tower.
Priorities, am I right?
Yep. I'm going to go with 4.
A monument 1 month? Yeah, that sounds about
Is
right.
it more
'Cause also-
complicated than a water wheel?
No.
No, but it's
Okay.
very tall.
It's very tall, though.
And I'm trying not to use
It's trying to pierce the sky.
Exactly. I'm trying not to use 6 because we have less time.
Yes.
All right, that's me.
All right. We did discover a cursed and dangerous machine.
Oh.
It's a box. It looks like it has some vents or something. It's kind of like neon green. It's dangerous because when people are around it too long, they start getting sick. Their hair starts falling out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
So the community destroys it by throwing it off the top of the quarry and letting it smash into the bottom.
That seems fine.
Yeah, totally.
I'm thinking of the scarcity of fish. So we probably see some fish here and there, but we haven't really developed a good way of farming them, so I'm going to put some netting up into the river. I think this will only take a couple weeks. We're just
Like 2
getting
weeks.
some netting together.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a big building. I think it's on the same side of the river as the quarry. It's abandoned because there's no energy, because it was the energy.
So it was like a...
Nuclear facility.
Oh.
I want to discover something new.
Ooh.
I want to put something in the forest. There's a cave.
Ooh.
Spooky.
I think kids are attracted to quarries.
That's so true.
Well, hey, you know how the Power Rangers movie happened.
Oh, fuck.
So to the east of the quarry, there is a boy who starts digging. The boy's name is Randolph.
Randolph.
What?
Randolph.
Okay.
The Rancid.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, he dug up a party. The Donner Party.
And he unearths a femur to start with, but as he keeps digging, he finds more and more skeletons and mummified bodies.
Fuck yes, I'm so in.
And they seem to be like actually buried well.
Arranged there.
They're
Like it's a
arranged there,
cemetery.
and then there's like little artifacts on them, like little tokens and whatnot. And so now we have fish and the wheel's fixed.
There's fish in the net now.
So you get to do stuff to the wheel, right?
Motion line.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to discover something new. And a group of settlers go to explore the cave that was found in the forest. And they actually have found an old coal mine. And there's actually coal and stuff in there. Coal has been found on this map. Got to draw what coal looks like.
Poop.
Lump.
Boy, that looks like poop.
That, yep.
It's on fire.
The tower.
Oh yeah,
finish.
the tower finished. Oh man, there's some intricate drawing happening to the sky artists. What the?
Yeah. So
Did you build a trampoline?
No. So it's like it's multi-tiered, and then they're around the tops. There are platforms that jut out, so they have unobscured view of the sky up high.
That's where they do drugs.
That's where they do drugs.
Yes.
The most hideous thing in this area is there is a giant bonfire that's always kept going in the town for warmth during the night, and that's the most ugliest thing in the town. It produces.
Is it because of all the wet
smoke.
firewood? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's where we put the dead too.
The what?
Nothing. We don't talk about.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to start a project. So, the Sky Artists,
Oh no.
they saw this moving wheel over by the river, and they're like, you know what? We could harness that rotational movement to actually rotate around the tower so that we can get better views and have a much more dynamic art.
We're all taking consent.
The sky artists are getting way too
Big for their britches.
Yeah. We're all over here trying to find sources of energy and food, and the sky is like, yeah, just get touched by the sky. God damn the sky artists.
And let's see, let's go with 3.
I would say, okay, I'm going to go with a charismatic young girl convinces Minnie to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? It is, this is a girl from not the esteemed artist family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine she would be kind of bothered by the factions that are forming in the community. So her project is going to try to tear down this tower that has stolen the hydro wheel.
That took like a month.
The hydro wheel's not even done. Done.
It's getting worked on, and she is not happy with it. She's
How old is she?
charismatic. She is
Young girl.
14.
What's her name?
Awesome.
Her name is Annabelle,
She's my hero.
I'm taking contempt.
I
Fuck
bet you are.
Annabelle.
and she's down with this artist family that's kind of taken over the community and starting all of these projects in their service.
Well, how long? And I guess you need.
Well, it's destroying things. So.
I would say that it would only take like a week
Well,
or 2.
Good luck setting it on fire, I guess.
Yeah, I think their main target would probably be the tower itself rather than sabotaging
The
the
gearbox.
construction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't want the water wheel to be destroyed. She wants to put it to good use.
How
Smart
long?
girl.
So yeah, I think the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh, but this goes down. So look at 1 week of like, look at this. This is fantastic.
I'm going to discover something new. To the east, on the other side of the stream,
We haven't done much
we
over
found a small group of people with maybe 3 tents around a campfire. They've been living kind of in seclusion, kind of away from everybody, and they have their own little community identity.
there. I think there's fucking werewolves in this forest.
Oh,
Fuck yeah. Oh
There you
my
go.
God,
That's good.
cute.
So they're over on the north of the forest. And what sets them apart from you? They're fucking werewolves.
We already took the projects down, so now.
And then we should probably hold a discussion about these fucking werewolves.
Okay, so you can either do a declaration or a question.
Is there a way to control werewolves?
I would want to know: is there a use for controlling them? Are we trying to control them to use them for labor, or are we trying to use them as a means as protecting ourselves against other people? Like maybe we should, offer an alliance to them. I would want to know what the use would be for them first.
I don't think you should enslave werewolf people. They're people too. I think we should have an alliance with them. I think in these trying times, it's better to work together than to break each other apart.
One day I left the cave after collecting coal and ran into one, shared my rations with them, and they seemed, at least the one that I met, seemed pretty nice.
They have fangs and claws, and we don't know enough about them yet. And I'm scared, and I don't think that we should fight them because that's scary. But I think they're very dangerous.
Ooh, it's summer now.
Ooh.
Some rafts float down the river. There are basically like 3 of them kind of attached to each other, and there's 11 people on it, 6 of which are children under the age of 10. And then there's like 4 adults and 1 teen. They look pretty emaciated, and we actually agree. The community greets them with kind of like, "Oh, come on in! Like, there's food. We have tons of fish. Let's feed you." So they're greeted very warmly by our community. Okay,
All right.
so Project Dice go down,
Oh my God! Look at that rotation. It's beautiful sky art.
and then we're gonna start a project in the cave to mine. To start mining coal. So mining operation. I'm gonna say that's gonna take a month.
So I think that the scarcity for dry wood has gone too long. So what they actually start to do, another part of the community, is they actually, with this fire, they actually create pretty much a drying, kindling building, so that when they cut down the trees, they can bring them in, they plane them like usual, but then they dry them. And that's going to take, let's go, is it 2 or 3? Let's go 2.
Yeah, I think sounds right.
So we took down the project. Oh, you fuckers.
Your show exploded.
yeah.
No, Brandon did
Brandon,
it.
yeah,
You
that's
gotta
right.
blow it up.
Just the tower.
I just drew the top of it toppled.
Oh, nice. Some from the community. You can guess if you want who. They decided it would be best to broker peace with the werewolves and start a project to broker peace with the werewolves.
Oh, have fun with that.
I justify it because the cloud artists are actually werewolves themselves.
Oh no!
All right.
Secretly?
Secretly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
that wouldn't take a lot of time at all.
What the fuck?
So when they actually went and communed in the forest, they were actually inviting with
Okay.
werewolves.
Nice. A contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? It's everyone who's not an artist. You know, all these artists being newly discovered that they're being lycanthropes, that everyone who is not a lycanthrope is wanting to just know what's really going on. People who aren't werewolves are wanting to be heard in this community because they feel like this monument has been built. Mm-hmm. They had no idea that what these people were. They had no idea. Mm-hmm. And they just want to know what's going on.
And they
want to
just
be
took
heard.
this source of power for themselves.
Okay, what are they asking for?
They're asking for some communication between the two groups.
So now it's time for your actions.
I would say since we have an abundance of fish, I'm going to share some of our food with this mystery camp here. Would that be like a project, like a kind of like a diplomacy?
Could be a trade. It could be a trade route.
Because it's like opening up a food trade route to kind of reach out to these people. I can mix it with a whole discussion. Should we share our food, our abundant fish, with this other camp?
I think that's fine. I think we need to make as many friends within humans as we can.
I mean, they don't seem to need anything from us. I don't care if we give fish to them, but I think we need to make sure that we're, making sure that our groups are fed as well. So as long as it doesn't become like they rely on us for food, I'm okay with it. So there should be some sort of guideline around how much they get.
I'm not fine with it. We had strangers come from the river, and we have to support them, and now we'll probably have to support the werewolves. And when times get hard, we need to make sure that we have enough food for us. I don't think we should give them food.
They've been living on their own. They've been doing well. They don't seem to be bothering anybody. Like maybe we can reach out and talk to them, but resource-wise, they seem to be doing okay.
All right, Kristin's turn.
Right. I think Annabelle goes missing.
That shit
Not
stirrer.
Annabelle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the shit stirrer.
All right.
Yeah, I think somebody didn't like her.
I think that's pretty impactful just as that
Sure.
is, without going into detail.
Oh, projects go down.
Peace has been achieved. I don't know how to draw that. I'm just going to, it happens.
Peace sign, right?
Yep, and then a smiley face, right? I don't know.
And I want to start a project in Annabelle's memory.
What?
I want to use the water wheel for good and make a mill.
That's what Annabelle would have wanted.
Fuck
That seems about right.
Annabelle.
She was looking out for the good of the community. So the rafts were docked at one point along the river, but there was a bad storm and they came loose and they ran down into the nets. And it punched a huge hole through one of these the nets, and now we don't have our fish are back into being scarce again.
Thanks, outsiders.
I want to hold a discussion about the treaty that happened between the werewolves and our community representatives,
The artists.
sky artists who were secretly werewolves. I'm saying we cannot trust the sky artists or the werewolves.
By extension, the werewolves.
I think you absolutely can trust the sky artists and the werewolves. Here's why.
One. Wolves. No, sorry.
Absolutely can, because all those times that everyone's went out to the forest and logged, they would have all died easily from the werewolves if it weren't for the sky artists that actually had brokered a tempered alliance a long time ago. We would have all been dead months ago if it weren't for the sky artists. So you can absolutely trust the werewolves and the sky artists, and we can live in harmony.
This is so good.
This is my turn.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear it.
I saw them kill Annabelle.
Oh!
Is that your whole discussion part?
Yeah, that's it. We have an eyewitness.
There are tears. Fuck these wolves.
That's all you have to say about that?
Let's dot this.
That's my opinion.
Wait.
Okay.
It has been discussed.
You're welcome, everybody.
I saw him killing Annabelle.
Man, what is wrong with our community?
Got out of hand real fast.
The project finishes early. Which one? Why? Well, I guess that's the only project. Great job. You're fucking bullshit. It finishes early. Draw it. What is it? Tell me about it.
Oh, doing good to the community.
That was supposed to be a mill, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a mill.
All right, somebody
Lumber mill.
draw somebody, whoever started.
Who started it? It was.
Oh yeah, Kristin.
And it was in memory of Abby.
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Can't even get her fucking name right. See what I mean?
I'm trying to draw the sky room.
And it's just got this beautiful
Nice.
portrait of Annabelle on the side.
Oh, and so we also have an
Yeah.
abundance of coal now, right?
Yes, we do now have an abundance of coal.
And so could we also add to that list after this project was made? Just like lumber?
I will start a project where. Oh, I know. We don't have a lot of shelters still. We're mostly living out in the monks. So I'm going to build a cohabitating giant structure for everyone.
Oh, with my lumber?
Yeah, thank you. And we'll be nice and warm with the coal and dry firewood. But yeah, it's going to be a giant sleeping structure for everyone in the community.
I see what you're
Everyone in
saying.
the community.
God damn it!
And it's going to be by the water as well, or this little stream.
So we can poop and it washes.
Yeah, that's not
Exactly.
suspicious.
I know. It's great. Actually, this should be bigger than that. Let's just make it double wide.
It's a bunch of trailers.
Yeah, that's right. So it's everyone. So should that be 4, 5?
It's also a lot of building. And it's a
Yeah.
big building, so I would probably say like.
Five,
maybe.
So it's bigger than the tower.
I mean,
got-
this
hell
is something that everyone in the
Right.
community
It
can
also
be
has to
helping
be
with.
safer than the tower, probably.
Let's
much
just
was
go
the tower?
4.
Four.
Was the tower 3 or 4?
Tower was 4.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with 4.
Okay, cool.
So I think the unattended situation is that camp of people over there.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes problematic and scary by we see them in our camp. There's one night we know these people, we've talked to them before, and now they're in our camp at night. What are they doing?
Oh God.
So that's the what is it? How does it go awry? We see that they have these pulled out of their sheaths, silver blades.
Oh God. Got no weapons.
And they're
God, no.
stalking through
Oh God.
the camp. That's how it goes awry.
My God.
And we still have an excess of lumber. So I think I'm going to start a
great mill.
project. The project is part of the people who are building the structure. They start building a wall between.
How long does that take?
I didn't say as long as maybe
I
one.
would say I mean, I know
3?
it's a simple construction, but there's fewer people building it. So I would probably say the
4.
same amount of time.
3?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
3. I say 3. Is that okay?
Yeah, and I want the entrance to be where the tower was because, these are, that was important to them.
Oh, wow.
At least some of them.
The lycanthrope community was important.
And
that's right.
I've also put an entrance facing the cave.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a kid, some kind of kid in his late teens that goes east. Because he obviously doesn't want to go west because those people were starving. Just to fucking get away.
Yeah.
He's looking for maybe someplace that's not so entangled with, not necessarily the forest, but like all of this mysticism. Like, is there someplace that's maybe cleaner and not quite so racked with conflict?
What was the kid's name?
Gerry.
Gerry on the search of no more of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's his intention to come back, maybe. Maybe bring back some new information.
What to see?
I mean, I definitely want to do some anthropology on these bodies.
Oh.
Get an abundance of skulls.
Yeah, I think there's bite marks on the bones, like
Dang.
wolfy bite marks.
So you're doing an investigation project?
I discovered it.
Oh, shit.
Like, these bodies have been sitting here for months.
Yeah, I know.
We just dug them up and like, I don't know.
This isn't weird at all.
It's pumpkin spice latte season.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's get an abundance of
Pumpkin spice.
yeah.
So everybody knows that Annabelle went missing, and there are rumors in the community that she was actually taken by the werewolf faction. And in fact, there was even eyewitnesses saying that they saw her get murdered by them. So I'm going to give this away because I think it is just good for us to know the dark mystery, but I don't think the community actually understands what's happening. So Annabelle was a teenager, and all the teens in the community are starting to fall ill. We brought in that family from the river, and they seem to be getting really healthy, like really fast, healthier than what, from somebody who's been starving should be. The family that came in from the raft is obviously gaining energy from the teens in the community, but nobody, no, it doesn't. There's no bite marks. There's nothing like.
Well, it doesn't have to be that kind of vampire.
Yes. So something is happening in the teen and under population of the community. They're getting sick, and that one family is looking very, very healthy.
Their teen is the only one that's fine.
Yes, our food is going down. I think we're gonna repair the net. Josh is like, what? That's so boring.
So please.
Hey, look, they want somebody in the community was like, we're not getting enough iron. All the kids we need more iron.
Need more of that vitamin B.
Yeah. So let's fix this fish net and let's get our fish population back
fish
up.
Oil.
So I put 2 on it because it's just a repair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Autumn. Someone returns to the community. Who? Where were they?
Wow.
Gerry!
It didn't take very long.
Yeah, I know.
Gerry's like gone for 2 weeks. Is like, it's too hard out there. Like about a bear.
You find a body, or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened?
Oh shit, Gerry!
My sweet boy, Gerry.
These names are terrible. Annabelle's good.
Gerry is such an Adventure Zone name. I didn't even mean to. It's just the first dumb bullshit I could come up with.
Randolph.
Fine, let's have Gerry come back.
Yeah. What you got for us, Gerry?
Ice cream.
Where were they? Hey guys, I found refrigeration.
Oh, it's all melted.
There's no Freon here.
So Gerry comes back and he looks really weird. Like he's bigger than usual.
Oh, shit.
Shit, Gerry, you've been working out.
Shit, Gerry got fit.
But more not on the fit. Like he is kind of like parts of his muscles are bigger than other ones. He's kind of grotesque now. But he comes back and he's like, I found religion.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
And so he ran to a group of people that were worshipers of some strange glowing material, and he's like, I found religion, and I remember there's some religion here as well that we can worship. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
That's good.
Fuck yes.
Good.
Nice.
I guess everyone sleeps area. Gerry, we don't have a bed big enough for you. We'll figure that out. And then the wall's done and the fishing hoe.
Oh, God, and teens would hang out at the quarry.
Yeah. I know,
Yes.
right, man?
God damn it.
So most of the time, I guess people for crossing the river, they kind of have to like wade across and stuff like that, right?
We never discussed that, but yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of dangerous. People decide to start making a bridge across the river with even like a. No, I'll just leave it at that.
So we don't have to float with these ropes anymore.
Yeah, and be like, oh gosh.
Yeah. We didn't discuss how they've been getting across.
It's a big river.
I think considering what's on the other side, people probably weren't really
Yeah,
quick
totally.
to build it.
But the thing is, also, I'll just make it complicated to begin with. It's a bridge, but it also has one of those pretty much like dam locker, like a lock.
Oh, yeah.
So in theory, you could lock the river or at least bring it downwards as well. That's gonna be fucking hard. I'm gonna say 4.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond? And who was caught was someone from that camp trying to create like a secret back door on this wall, kind of like digging underground or like making a little trap door, something like they can easily pass through. They're caught. They have weapons. They have both silver knives and stakes. So I think at least some werewolves, maybe 2 or 3, sneak into their camp in the middle of the night. And we don't see the vampire / werewolf hunters again.
It's a loud ass year.
The net's done.
Yay, we fish again.
Okay, I'm going to start a discussion. I'm going to do a question. And the question is, how does everyone feel about what happened to the camp?
Not great. Like, they seem to know what they're doing with these dangerous creatures. And the fact that these dangerous creatures came in and sniped them is like, I don't know if I like that at all.
Totally cool with it. They snuck into our camp. They were trying to subvert our projects and get into our living quarters. They had it coming, honestly.
It was fantastic that we hit them back. It also shows that the werewolves can be trusted. They fight on our behalf. I think it was a unifying experience for the greater community to show that we can all live together in peace for all the people here and not outsiders. Right.
Shit.
No, I hate what they did with Annabelle, but they did at least protect us from the people who were coming in the night with knives and stakes. And that's it.
Okay.
I'll put my content back, sure.
I think there's marauders coming in from the east that got wind of this camp being torn up. And they, of course, have comparable weapons. How many are there? Not many, maybe 7, 8. I think I want to start a project to investigate the man-made structure. See what's going on in the... I don't know, maybe they call it the silo or something.
Oh, that you mean?
Yeah, that one.
You could also just discover it as well. Remember, you don't even have to... You can be like, this is what's inside.
Yeah, you can discover something new.
Yeah, but then I'd have to make it up.
Oh!
Do it. It's all you. You got it.
You got it.
What do we find?
Well, you find these weird tanks
Oh,
with
shit!
crazy water in. Like, what's wrong with this water?
Those kinds of tanks. We were thinking
Yeah, I was thinking like military tanks.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So I think we become like, this bridge is our fucking destiny.
That's right.
If we have to
That's
make
where
it,
the religion lives.
That's right.
Across the river.
we have to make this like the gateway to our new religion. Like Gerry's preaching to us and we're like,
Fucking Gerry.
Gerry, we love what you got going on. Obviously you're ripped as shit. I can't wait to get jacked like you, Gerry.
Maybe a little bit more symmetrical, but what?
No, he is beautiful.
Oh, I see.
And we have to make this bridge as beautiful as Gerry.
Oh my God.
Leading us to our new religion. So we have to add 3 weeks. Yep. We add 3 weeks to the time. Listen, we're all emaciated. Life force is being drained from us.
Oh, God, that too. Oh, no, there's that
All the shit's happening
psychic.
to our community. We're not thinking straight. Okay.
Now we'll knock it down 1, back to 4.
Yeah, back to 4. I don't know if I want to start another project or not.
We gotta fix something, guys.
I think we got a good thing going on.
We got winter coming.
Vampires.
There's a lot
this
of the year
bridge,
left.
Religion, marauders.
I want to hold a discussion.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, actually, I'll see. Actually, why was I joking? I kind of do want to hold a discussion. Winter is coming. What do you think we should be focusing on right now?
Oh, I think we should be working on our defenses.
We've got fish, we've got coal, we've got wood. We're good on resources. These marauders have me worried.
I think we need to strengthen our religious forces and maybe send some more people on vision quests. I think we need as many wise men as we can get.
I feel like the marauders are just the start of what could be more, especially since we already dealt with a community that was obviously hostile against us. I also agree that we should probably be thinking about maybe weaponizing ourselves, not just in spirit, but also physically.
Yeah, so there's a mother named Marcy that leaves the community, and she gives a dire warning. She's like, all this is a ruse. All of it. The thing that we should be worried about are those strangers that came in. My boy died. We should be worrying about them, not any other stuff. Without our children to lead our future, none of this matters. Take care of those people within our community now. As she leaves, they're dangerous. No, okay. So you said in here in this building, is this tanks of liquid and stuff, and not real tanks, right? I'm just making sure.
I mean, there could be an armory in there.
I think there's a discovery that someone went into one of those tanks and took out a metal rod, and the rod fell apart, and there's these little cylindrical pellets inside, and they find out are using coal and those pellets that they catch on fire and shortly thereafter explode. But also, it's quite glowy at the same time. It must be a blessing.
Probably.
So here's what happens. Since this community is obsessed with the bridge and this newfound religion, Children of the Atom, they decide to focus on protecting specifically these newfound supplies. Because they're so focused on the marauders, they want to protect these weapons that they discovered. And the natural disaster was an earthquake. What happens is these tanks crack. The people who were building the weapons, several of them got sick.
Okay.
There is a crack, and it is leaking, the effects of which are unknown at this moment.
Okay.
I'm going to combine this with this. I think the discovery is the crack, is the fact that it's leaking. That's the new discovery.
Okay.
The strongest among you dies. What caused the death?
Oh, Gerry.
Oh, no,
Gerry.
Oh, Gerry.
Or the weakest among you dies.
Oh, Gerry.
Who's to blame for their death? Okay. I think, Jerry's got to go. What caused the death? I think he was probably so high on his own supply that he was like, I'm going to eat these pellets.
Oh, my God.
Communing with God.
Yeah, totally. So I think we're finally aware that this stuff is real bad news.
Oh,
right.
the bridge is done.
The bridge is done. Praise Green Palor.
That's maybe not a great thing. We should probably hold a discussion about the plant.
Okay.
Maybe.
I declare that nobody goes near it. Like, we stop touching it. I don't care how great of a weapon it is. We're done.
We've always been skeptical of Gerry, and he's just proven that's very dangerous. I don't think we have the proper means to handle that material, so I'm of agreement. I think it's bad news for us to go over there.
I'm not sure about this religion of Gerry's or what have you, but I think it's still important to go over there. There are weapons there that we need to defend ourselves for when winter comes. Perhaps we should just take some more precautions when acquiring them.
Our Lord has taken Gerry from us for playing with fire. We need to leave fire be. We can't cross this bridge anymore. Amen.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Winter was finished.
Amen.
That's so sad we just finished this bridge.
It's winter. What is happening in our community that's causing all these animals and young children to cry incessantly?
I think it's because of those strangers that came in. I think Marcy was correct. I think it's their fault.
All of these kids are emaciated. We saw the raft people get fat. We know what's going on.
This is the work of someone who's targeting our most vulnerable. We need to root it out.
I think all signs point to the families that we brought in from the river. I think the only methods of getting rid of them is to sacrifice them to God.
Oh, if only we had a tower to throw them off of.
I know, right?
Or a vat to dump them into.
You know what they say, go with Gerry.
Yes. Okay, great. I want to kind of do a whole discussion again and make a declaration this time. I think we should sacrifice the family to Gerry's God across the river.
I think they should be killed as well. However, instead of sacrificing through whatever means to the god, we should experiment on them with the weapons to make sure that they're properly ready for when we have to go to war.
I say we should turn them over to the vampire hunters outside of our walls.
They are awful, but we're better than to let a living thing suffer that much. So we should just do the sacrifice and get it over with.
Fuck that family. Declaring war on them because they're going to try to put up a struggle, but it's only going to take 2 weeks. Yeah, we discover that there is one of the bodies missing from this mass grave.
Ooh.
And that we actually see like footprints that are of skeletal means. There we go.
Ooh.
That's what I wanted.
There's been this person all along who's just always been nonviolent, never been happy about, all the conflict going on. They try to prevent the sacrifice of the rafters, and they are prevented from doing this by getting thrown in with the rafters. So the project dice are not reduced this week because they have a new member. I'm going to add a new discovery. We've been kind of not focused on these marauders at all while everything else with the nuclear stuff has been going on. So the discovery is from the north. There is another band of marauders with silver blades and stakes coming
to
in.
Fortify what's already there.
Yeah, another group of say 15 or so.
Oh. The Frost Shepherds arrived. The game is over.
All right, the game is over. That's it. So that was it. That was a quiet year.
That was good.
You like it?
Yeah.
I had fun. I didn't have to do much of anything.
Yeah.
As a GM question mark. But I chose this game. It's actually the next couple games I was choosing was specifically just to build other skill sets that GMs need. So character development, world building, kind of getting ideas of encounters and shit like that. So the hardest part of this game is not throwing suggestions out or not having discussions or making calls to people.
Yeah, because the whole point of it is to be collaborative. And
but
for some games that is coming to the decision as a group, but for this game specifically, it's all about each person's contribution.
That's the thing. Yes, collaborative, but everybody should have their own agency.
Yeah. Which unfortunately we stepped on Brandon.
I think the whole
times.
contempt system kind of sucks, but
I think it's good though.
it is good, but it's
we totally forgot about it.
Yeah. It's only there to be socially significant for us. There's no gameplay hook to it.
Right.
No, but I think that if you guys noticed, we were starting to collect contempt, but then we stopped because we started doing stuff that was not. We were starting to collaborate more.
Yeah, stop being an asshole.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is we're supposed to be disconnected from this community, so we're supposed to be an asshole to this community. We're not supposed to align with factions.
And we had some pretty clear factions, I think.
Yeah.
Another aspect that I was struggling with is when to zoom out and when to zoom in. I think the one part where we're getting kind of on you, Brandon, when we took over your agency was because in my mind I was zooming in and trying to name stuff, and then you're zooming out, and for whatever reason that just didn't make sense to me. But also I was struggling with it on my own terms. When do you name somebody?
Right.
When do you how do you set that scene? How much can you describe about something? And I think that was something we talked about early on, even with you, Kristin and Brandon. It's how much of the world do I actually get to craft? And what are the boundaries and what's allowable?
And because of the way this game is, in the future, and we did do this of there was this person who felt this way all along, we can add to that later. We don't have to define it from the start.
Right? No.
Just at the beginning, we were having a discussion about what genre it is, how what was the word? Like how much magic, how much strange do we want to add to that? Like you do it as you go along. You can do it up front. Some games do that, but the way I see this game is like it's meant to be built over time organically.
I still think it's good to ask though, how strange do you want it? Like, are you okay with it getting weird? Is probably the question you should ask in this game. Like, are there any, well, not just any game that you have with people, like, what is good and what is not? Can we have children sacrifices, or do you not want to have children sacrifices? Like, what are the no-go zones? Where is sexual religion gonna come up in this, or sex sacrifices, or whatever the
But I think for a group like us of people who know each other, like, that's built into our community. When to throw out that red card.
Yeah. This was, I don't know, this was good.
Yeah, I like this game.
I like this game a lot. I could play this again and again and again.
Oh yeah, because you can tell it would be so completely different.
Yeah, what are the frost shepherds? Is what they're called?
Yeah.
It says like, what do you think the frost shepherds are, and what does that mean?
Oh,
I don't know. I was thinking it was the dead people in that hole.
Shit.
Like like Randolph unearthed.
Like that missing one was maybe
a precursor to everyone getting up like, hey, time to die.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, overall, it was good.
It's just interesting that it's a god game, but there's 4 different gods.
Yes. And I also like that at any point in time, we could represent, like, I don't know if you guys were doing this, but when we were doing the discussions, I was specifically trying to imagine somebody who was living in that community, or like a group of them. They're like,
oh yeah,
we should totally sacrifice those people. They are no good. You're killing our children, blah, blah, blah. And then I kind of saw you do the same thing. You're like,
I tried so hard to step out of character, like my own personal, like it was just really hard to not.
As people who like to talk a lot, sometimes this game was like really difficult for me not to.
I like that actually a lot. To like, because what you were saying had to be more significant, especially during discussions.
There were definitely times I wanted to pipe in, but I was like, I can't. It's not.
Where it's like
I'm not allowed.
Like, oh, I really want to suggest this
and that
so
made
bad,
it
but
really
no.
interesting to me.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thanks for facilitating.
Thanks, Amber.
You're welcome. So we briefly talked about stepping on player agency in the discussion at the end. For flow reasons, I cut out a part where Josh and I started a backseat game, which was a major whoops. We addressed and resolved it during the game, and it was a good learning moment for all of us. If you're enjoying listening to my efforts, please consider sharing this podcast with other people who might be interested, especially to those who might want to GM but are nervous to make that first step. I would also greatly appreciate a rating and review on iTunes. Another way you could help me out is by donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/Geekspective. I've been putting up outtakes, and there will be other cool rewards and sneak peeks going forward. Shapeshift is a member of the Geekspective Network, which you can find on Twitter at Geekspective and online at geekspective.com. For Shapeshift-specific info, you can follow ShapeshiftCast on Twitter and on Tumblr. If you go to the Tumblr, you'll get to see pics of the map that we'd made during this game. If you want to see selfies or cute animal friends, follow me at Rocket Orca on Twitter and on Tumblr. Next episode comes out on October 5th, while I'll be in Scotland running Monster Hearts 2 in a con-like setting. This is a pretty major step out of my comfort zone, but I think I'm ready. See you then!